So y'all, today I'm gonna be telling y'all the story about how I lost my job as soon as we moved to Dallas. As some of y'all know, I had got the job at Blue Cross or whatever. I was scheduled to start when they hired me on. I was scheduled to start August 1st. Exactly, August 1st, 2022. So, as y'all know, we moved to Dallas July 31st, 2022. And yeah, so basically, y'all, I didn't tell them I was moving. I asked when I first started working for them, if I was to move to Texas, would I be able to? And the lady was like, yeah. Mind you, this is the HR lady. She was like, yeah, we have people that, live all over the states, some everywhere. So I was like, okay, cool. So me being me, okay, well, once you gave me the go ahead, that means I can go, right? So y'all know we literally moved in 4 days. So that I got off that Friday. That Friday when I got off, I unpacked my computer. I shut it down and packed it up. I said unpacked. I'm sorry. I packed my computer up. I unplugged everything, packed it up in the boxes so they'll be ready to go. So, our computers, normally they did like a job-wide update on the weekends or whatever. So, my computer didn't get the update that weekend, which, I mean, sometimes it didn't get the update, which really wasn't nothing. It didn't mean nothing or whatever. So, boom, got my computer and stuff packed up. We already moved. We got here early Monday morning. I think I told y'all that already. We got here like 4 a.m. Monday morning because we hit the road Sunday, leaving from Little Rock. So we got here Monday morning at 4 a.m. I had to be at work, clocked in at 8 a.m. on Monday. So when we got here, I had unpacked my computer. That was the only thing I pulled off the U-Haul truck was my computer so I can plug it up. Boom. Go to plug it up, go to clock in and everything, and it says, something about an error, which the error always normally, it popped up a lot of times, so I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, okay. So the error popped up, and I'm like, hey, it's not letting me clock in. I take this to my supervisor. I'm like, it's not letting me in the system. So she was okay, well, contact IT because they did some updates over the weekend or whatever, and it's a lot of people that's not able to. Okay, cool. Once again, still not thinking nothing of it because it used to do that all the time. So, excuse me, I feel like I had the burp, but nothing came up. So, yeah, so I'm contacting IT and they're like, okay, we'll run tests on all this stuff. Excuse me, there you go. That was all of Monday, y'all. All of Monday, I basically did not get to work because they were saying they had to figure out what was wrong with my computer. So, boom, Tuesday come. I try to clock in again. I'm like, hey, it's still not letting me in the system. She's like, okay, just keep contacting IT because it's really nothing I can do on my end. Okay, well, I just want you to know that I'm attempting to clock in, but it's not letting me. Cool. Wednesday come, y'all. Wednesday come. My supervisor didn't call me. HR called me and was like, hey, we have you scheduled for an appointment to come into the office so we can fill out your I-9 information, which is where you bring in, a copy of your social security card, your ID, and another form of verification or whatever. So I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to do this when I'm way in Texas? Ain't no way I'm finna get to Arkansas on today. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, can I do it virtually? And she's like, no, we have to have you in person. And I'm just like, okay, well, that don't even make sense if y'all have virtual employees. So I still haven't told them I'm moving to Texas or whatever. I still never said nothing. So I'm like, okay, I'll try to see what I can do. So then later on that evening, my supervisor called and she was like, hey, they still didn't get you in? I'm like, no. So then IT finally called me later on that day, y'all, and was like, what happened to my camera? Hold on, y'all. I don't know what just happened. It seemed like my lighting changed. But IT called me later that day and was like, hey, you'll have to come in and pick up a whole new computer because your system didn't update and for some reason it messed up your system. I'm like, oh man. Okay. I'm like, okay, I'll be in to get it, knowing I'm lying because I'm not coming back to get it. At this time, y'all, we had to go back to Arkansas, like I told y'all, to get Babe's truck because he left his truck in Arkansas. So I knew we was gonna have to come back, but it wouldn't have been until that Friday at the earliest. So I'm like, dang, I'm gonna have to try to hold them off 2 more days. So the supervisor called me Thursday and she was like, hey, IT said your equipment is ready if you want to come pick it up. And I'm like, well, that's the problem. I no longer live in Arkansas. I said I moved to Texas over the weekend. And she was like, well, I didn't know that. Who said you could move to Texas? Who told me I could move to Texas? What? I'm like, well, when I asked so-and-so, she told me that I would be out if I wanted to move to Texas, I could. And she was like, well, nobody ever told me that. I'm like, well, yeah, I asked her that when I first got hired. I don't know, whatever. She told me this. And she was like, well, we never discussed that, and no one ever let me know anything about that. So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, talk to her about it, because it ain't got nothing to do with me, because I'm not moving back. So boom. At this point, she's like, okay, well, let me get with the HR lady and I'll call you back. Okay, cool. Call me back. Yeah, from that point, the HR lady called me and she was like, hey, so your supervisor told me that you said that I told you could move to Texas. I'm like, yeah, remember we had this conversation when we first went through this training or whatever. I asked you, could I move to Texas and still work here? And you told me yes. She was like, well, I just thought you was asking a question. Why the fuck would I just ask you a random ass question like, could I move to Texas, if I didn't have that thought in my head that I was moving to Texas? What? That's just like me saying, so can I just work? Can I move to Wisconsin and still work here? Who the fuck gonna randomly ask you that? She was like, well, people ask us about working in different states all the time. I didn't know you were actually gonna move there. Well, baby, I'm not people. Yes, I'm actually gonna move there, which is why I inquired about it. I wouldn't have inquired if I wasn't gonna fucking move to Texas. Okay. Boom. End of that. So she was like, well, I didn't know, the taxes are different because Texas doesn't pay state taxes. So we would have had to switch all your information over and all this other stuff. So I'm like, man, at this point, all right, well, if I can't work with y'all, just say that. If I can, then cool. Either way it go, I'm not going to be, messed up about it. So boom, she was like, well, let me just call you back. She was like, oh no, that's what she was like. Well, I seen you had an appointment with HR or whatever, where you supposed to come in and turn in your documents. She was like, well, how are you going to do that? And I'm like, well, they already told me I can't do it virtually. And if I don't do it by Friday, then I'm out of a job. So she was like, okay, well, let me just call them and see what they say. I'll try to see if we can work with it or how we can go around this. I'm like, cool. By this time, y'all had already had it made up in my head, like, girl, that job is done for. So, this time after she got the phone with me, the temp service called me. And I'm like, I don't even know what they calling for. My last day with them was July 31st. It's August 1st, and I'm supposed to be hired on. I guess because I hadn't signed anything, no, it was still going through them. So they called, and they was like, hey, Camry, we just got a call from Blue Cross, and they said, you moved to Texas or whatever, and we're all just trying to figure out who told you that you could move to Texas. Why the fuck are y'all steady saying that when I don't need nobody fucking permission for me to move to Texas? So I'm like, listen, I asked her a long time ago. She told me it was cool when I first started. She claimed that she didn't know I was for real because everybody else asked these questions and don't be for real, but I was dead serious. And I was like, if they want me to send back the equipment, I will. I just need a return address, or y'all need to send, tell them to send me the return address or whatever. At this point, fuck this job. So boom, she was like, okay, well, we're just trying to see what's going on because we just want to get this resolved. Okay, well, bitch, at this point, I don't give a fuck. So Blue Cross HR steady calling me. I'm like, girl, at this point, fuck them folks. I'm declining the call. Supervisor called me back and I let her know, hey, they can just send some boxes for them to get this equipment back because I'm not finna go through all this over no job. Point blank, period. The shit ain't even worth it. The pay ain't even that damn good. The pay is bull. So, girl, come on, send me them boxes for this equipment. Y'all, to this day, I still don't have no boxes for no equipment. The equipment is still sitting in my closet because where I'm shipping it to. Because I ain't finna ship it on my own. Y'all better send me a return label or something. So, yeah, that y'all already know. If y'all watched the previous video about this job and how they told me, how they weren't finna give me the job at first because I missed one question on the assessment, y'all already know how I felt about them back then. So this just put the icing on the cake that, baby, something way better was coming and you didn't need this job no more. So that's exactly what happened because, like I told y'all, I had already had a job offer before I moved here anyway. So I wasn't messed up about Blue Cross no more. I was just gonna work that job in the daytime because my full-time job here is at nighttime. So I was gonna have 2 full-time jobs or whatever. But when that happened, I was like, fuck that shit in. Okay. That was my story time of that, y'all, of how I lost my job when I moved her. So, yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, Blue Cross do pay good, but it's a customer service that pay good in other departments. But claims, baby, that shit don't pay shit. They was offering me, to sign on with them, they was offering me $16. Baby, what am I supposed to do with it? I can't do nothing with $16. I can't even get approved for an apartment with $16. So, yeah, that was BS. I had to let that go in. I was happy about that decision. I'm cool with it. I just was rolling with the punches when I got here, y'all. Like, however everything laid was how it was supposed to be, and I just rolled with that shit. But, yeah, that's the end of my story. And if y'all want some more story times, because I got plenty, then let me know. All you gotta do is give me a topic, baby, and we can talk about stuff all day long, especially when it comes to friends. I don't have none. I'm cool with it, and that's just what it is. So, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and turn your post notifications on. And this video might get posted before y'all see my vlog that I filmed today, because the vlog gonna be way longer. No, I don't know. But that's it, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in with me.